Good morning to everyone. We're certainly grateful that everyone here, we are all family. Thank you all so much. I am calling the meeting to order. We thank everyone for being here, and at this time, I'd like to call on my good friend, Pastor Parker, to come and lead us with the invitation. If we can stand and remain standing, and I will lead us with the pledge.
Thank you so much for the privilege of doing this today. Our Father, we thank you so much for this beautiful day that you've given us. This is the day that you have made, and we rejoice and we're glad in it. And we thank you for the season of the year that reminds us in the overall scheme of things. In the overall scheme of things, we always need to remember whose we are and who we are in his eyes. God, we thank you for this season of the year that reminds us that time long ago, in a little town called Bethlehem, a Savior was born. God, I thank you for this time of the year that draws our eyes away from self and puts us in the mind to give gifts, to be a giver. Remember what you told us in your word, it's more blessed to give than to receive. God, I thank you for the gifts that you've given me in my life. Folks and friends like Mayor Lowe, and Steve and others that I grew up with here in Phenix City. The opportunity to be here this morning. You've given me another year of life. And I know you didn't have to do that, but you did. That I could come and just do what I'm doing right now. I thank you, Lord, for putting us in a place, in a country, in this place we call the United States of America, where we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to pray, freedom to express religious thoughts and beliefs. I thank you for these men and women, those in uniform and those in plain clothes, who serve our communities, our country, ensuring that we might have that freedom. God, I thank you so much for each one of them. God, I thank you that they all have knowledge. And I pray that we'll also be guided by wisdom, that gift that comes from the power of the Holy Spirit. And so today we devote this time, this meeting over to you, knowing that the business that we perform, the business we conduct, really is your business. Keep us mindful to be good stewards of that time and effort and energy, and do those things that we vote and make decisions. Let us do those things that don't lean so much to doing the will of the majority, but rather do the will of God. Because, Lord, when all is said and done, you're the reason that we're here today. You've allowed it. And I pray this in the precious and perfect and powerful name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. All face the flag, please. Attention. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, Pastor Parker. And you know, you've heard this before. You're welcome to stay. If you leave, I promise you, we're going to still love you.
I'm afraid they'll stop me on the way out and frisk me again. I want to go out with the group.
Thank you so much for that prayer. Thank you. Proceeding on, council. At this time, we do not have any presentation or proclamation. But at this time, I'd like to ask this council for a motion to approve or the approval of the regular scheduled meeting minutes on December 4th, 2023. May I have a motion? Motion to approve. Have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Okay. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day. Councilmember Carter.
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey.
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy.
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lee. Council, any finished business we need to discuss? If not, we'll proceed on. On the resolutions, we have the city manager department. It's a resolution in reference to declaring 6 multicolored office chairs and 9 multicolored executive chairs as surplus to be transferred to another department sold as scrap for disposal of at the city landfill. Mrs. Lee.
Office of the City of Phoenix City has items of personal property which are no longer needed for public or municipal purposes. And whereas section 114356 of the Code of Alabama 1975 as amended authorizes the municipal governing body to dispose of unneeded personal property. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, that the following described property as listed below is hereby declared surplus to be transferred to another department, sold as scrap, or disposed of at the city landfill. 6 multicolored office chairs, 9 multicolored executive chairs. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of December 2023.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lee. Council, you've heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Day, may I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Day. Council, are there any comments, questions, or discussion? Okay, there's not being any, at this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on to council on the utilities department. There's a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor and city manager to sign documentation with Adura, formerly known as Constantine Engineering Incorporation, to increase the contract amount of task order 23 by $56,650 for the additional professional engineering services for the wastewater treatment upgrade and expansion project. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas resolution number 2020-120 approved task order 23 for Adura, formerly known as Constantine Engineering Incorporated, to provide professional engineering services for the wastewater treatment plant WWTP upgrades project. And whereas said project has had a significant construction change orders to repair or replace existing plant equipment that have required additional engineering services for design, construction management, and inspection. And whereas Adura has submitted a request to increase the contract amount of task order 23 by $56,650 to cover additional engineering services which have been incurred and anticipated for the remainder of said project through May 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby direct and authorize the mayor and city manager to sign necessary documentation to increase the contract amount of task order 23 by $56,650 for additional professional engineering services for the WWTP upgrade and expansion project. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of December 2023.
Okay. Again, council, we've heard the reading of the resolution by Mrs. Lee. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilwoman Carter, may I have a second? Councilman Gordon. Second from Councilman Gordon. Any questions, comments, or discussion, council? Okay, Mrs. Lee?
Yes. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also, council, proceeding under the utilities is a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor and city manager to accept a proposal from ABS Environmental Services to provide cellular communication for the flow monitors and rain gauges, annual calibration of the flow monitors and rain gauges, and technical assistance for a year in an amount not to exceed $4,090. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phoenix City, Alabama Utilities Department has a need to have cellular communication with its flow monitors and rain gauges and annual calibration for its flow monitors and occasional technical assistance with the flow monitors and rain gauges. And whereas ADS Environmental Services has the expertise to provide these needed services. And whereas ADS Environmental Services has proposed to provide cellular communication for the flow monitors and rain gauges, annual calibration for the flow monitors and rain gauges, and technical assistance for a year in an amount not to exceed $4,090. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby authorize the mayor and city manager to accept a proposal from ADS Environmental Services to provide the above mentioned services for a price not to exceed $4,090. passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of December, 2023.
Okay. Council, we all have heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion from Councilman Day, may I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Gordon. Any comments or discussion, council? All right, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And also, council, on the Utilities Department, is a resolution in reference to declaring equipment, materials in 2013 Ford F-150 as surplus to be sold as scrap or disposed of at the city landfill. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Phenix City, Alabama Utilities Department has equipment, materials, and supplies that are no longer needed for public or municipal purposes. And whereas section 114356 of the Alabama Code of 1975 authorizes the municipal governing body to dispose of unneeded property. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the described equipment, materials, and 2013 Ford F-150, VIN number 1FTEX1CM5BKG34503, listed on the attached memo, is unneeded and is hereby declared surplus to be sold as scrap or disposed of at the city landfill. Passed, approved, and adopted this 19th day of December, 2023.
Okay, thank you again, Mrs. Lee. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask the council for a motion, please.
Motion to approve it.
All right, we have a motion from Councilwoman Carter, may I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. All right, we have a motion and we have a second. Council, are there any questions? What's that, Mr. Day? Any other comments or questions? We have a motion and we have a second. At this time, council like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council, on the ordinance. We have an ordinance in reference to the departments or offices of the city of Phenix City, Alabama. Council, the first reading was on the 5th of this month. I'm not going to ask the clerk to reread it. However, I am going to ask for a motion, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Day. Okay. We have the motion and the second. At this time, council, we'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, council, on the ordinance, we have a first reading. It's an ordinance to amend the code of ordinance of the city of Phenix City, Alabama, chapter 6, relating to alcoholic beverages, section 6.60, hours of business for alcoholic beverages licensees, sale of alcohol beverages to minors, etc. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. An ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, Chapter 6, relating to alcoholic beverages, Section 6.60, hours of business for alcoholic beverages licensees, sale of alcoholic beverages to minors, etc. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the Code of Ordinances of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, Chapter 6, relating to alcoholic beverages, Section 6.60, hours of business of alcoholic beverage licensees, sale of alcoholic beverages to minors, etc., having been amended previously per ordinance 2011-22, are now hereby amended to read as follows. Section 6-60, hours of business for alcoholic beverage licensees, sale of alcoholic beverages to minors, etc. A, Monday through Saturday, it shall be unlawful for any person to buy, give away, sell, or serve for consumption on or off premises, or to drink or consume any alcoholic beverages in any cafe, lunchroom, restaurant, hotel, dining room, or other public place between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. Eastern Time. With the exception on New Year's Day, licensees shall be allowed to serve alcoholic beverages and to permit persons to drink or consume alcoholic beverages until 4 a.m. Eastern Time. B, Sunday. It shall be unlawful for any person to buy, give away, sell, or serve for consumption on or off premises, or to drink or consume any alcoholic beverages in any cafe, lunchroom, restaurant, hotel dining room, or other public place between the hours of 2 a.m. and 1 p.m. On-premise sales and distribution of alcoholic beverages are permitted in any cafe, lunchroom, restaurant, and hotel dining room after 1 p.m. Off-premise sales and distribution of alcoholic beverages are permitted after 1 p.m. On-premise sales are not allowed by any licensee not defined in section 6-79. C. It shall be unlawful for any person to buy, give away, sell, or serve for consumption on or off premises any alcoholic beverages to a minor. D. All businesses licensed for on-premise consumption of alcoholic beverages shall close when alcohol sales or on-premise consumption is prohibited as per section A of this section. All businesses licensed for on-premise consumption of alcoholic beverages that are not defined in section 6-79 shall close when alcohol sales or on-premise consumption is prohibited as per section B of this section. Businesses licensed for on-premise consumption of alcoholic beverages that are defined in section 6-79 for on-premise consumption of alcoholic beverages shall close on Sunday between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. E. A conviction for the violation of this section by the licensee of a licensed alcoholic beverage establishment or an employee of such licensee while working as such licensed establishment shall constitute an automatic revocation of the license to sell alcoholic beverages at the location where the violation occurred. Passed, approved, and adopted the 19th day of December 2023.
Okay, thank you. Do you need to catch your breath? You good? Council, we have heard the first reading of this ordinance. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to place on first reading. May I have a motion, please?
Motion placed on first reading.
We have a motion from Councilman Day. May I have a second? Second, Councilman Gordon. Comments, questions, discussion, Chief?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
G. Wheaties?
He's operating, Chief.
Yes, sir. Yes, council and mayor, the reason for this revision is that since 2011, the intent of the law has always been to close bars in the city of Phenix City at 2 a.m. in the morning. There is a provision that allows restaurants to stay open on Sunday, but they can't serve alcohol until 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Sundays. But there was nowhere in the law that required a restaurant to close at 2 p.m. So because that most restaurants complied, but there's a couple of restaurants that were staying open. And so what they're doing is they're masquerading as a restaurant during the day and then turning it into a nightclub or a bar at night. So to put them on the same footing as all other bars in the city. If you're a bar, you have to close at 2, and that's been the law for quite a number of years. This also now applies to restaurants. If you're a restaurant, you still can be permitted to open on Sunday mornings and not serve alcohol until 1. But if you're a license holder for a restaurant, at 2 o'clock, the restaurant has to close as well. Obviously, it would only apply to people who have, or businesses that have alcohol licenses, wouldn't affect the, fast food restaurants, the Waffle Houses, things like that. Those would remain 24-hour operations if they wanted to. It just only applies to alcohol license, businesses. So any questions about that?
Thank you, Chief. Any other comments or discussion, Council?
Well, I mean, it puts everybody on the same playing field, so the police have an easy determination to make when they pull up to a place. They know whether, like you said, whether it's a 24-hour like Waffle House or McDonald's or whatever, whether it's a mom and pop thing being ran. So it makes it real simple and real easy. And it makes, I'm assuming Columbus closes up at the same time frame, so it really doesn't have a lot of reason for a lot of people to be out on the street at night causing problems and issues at that time of night, which makes our city safer and makes our police be able to not have to work so hard trying to answer calls, in my opinion. So it seems to me like it's a real good move for us to do.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bates. Any other comments or discussion, Council? Not at this time. I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, council, on the public notice and first reading is a letter of recommendation from the planning commission, public notice and ordinance to rezone 1.12 acres of land located at 5203 Somerville Road from an R1 zone, low density residential district to a C3 zone, neighborhood commercial district. Edward E. Cook Jr., Roger D. Cook, Jeffrey W. Cook, and Tina Marie Rogers, owners. And at this time, council, I'd like to ask our clerk to read the letter, public notice, as well as the ordinance. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Letter dated December 13th, 2023, to mayor and city council members regarding the rezone of 1.12 plus or minus acres located at 5203 Somerville Road. Edward E. Cook Jr., Roger D. Cook, Jeffrey W. Cook, and Tina Marie Rogers, owners. The planning commission of the city of Phenix City met on Tuesday, December the 12th, 2023, to consider the request of Edward E. Cook Jr., Roger D. Cook, Jeffrey W. Cook, and Tina M. Rogers, owners for 1.12 plus or minus acres located at 5203 Somerville Road, to be rezoned from an R1 zone, low density residential district, to a C3 zone, neighborhood commercial district. It is the recommendation of the planning commission that this request for rezone be approved by the city council. Signed by Billy Sims, chairman, Eliza Phillips, secretary. The public notice and ordinance read as follows. Notice is hereby given that the city council of the city of Phenix City, Alabama, in response to a request made by the planning commission of the city of Phenix City, Alabama, will meet on the 6th day of February, 2024, at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the City Council Chambers, Public Safety Building at 1111 Broad Street, Phenix City, Alabama, to consider the following amendment to the zoning ordinance of the city of Phenix City, Alabama. An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Phenix City, Alabama, be it ordained by the City Council of the city of Phenix City. Section 1. That the zoning ordinance of the city of Phenix City, Alabama, adopted on the 17th day of September 2002, be amended so that the following tract of land be located in a C3 zone, neighborhood commercial district, instead of an R1 zone, low density residential district. Property is 1.12 plus or minus acres located at 5203 Somerville Road. Edward E. Cook Jr., Roger D. Cook, Jeffrey W. Cook, and Tina M. Rogers, owners. The legal description follows. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed by this ordinance. At said meeting, all persons desiring to be heard concerning the rezoning of the above described property may appear before the council at the aforementioned time and place to be heard. Passed, approved, and adopted 19th day of December 2023.
Thank you, Mrs. Lee. Council, we've all heard the reading of the letter, public notice, as well as the ordinance. At this time, I'd like to ask this council for a motion to accept the letter, to approve the public notice and to place the ordinance on first reading. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
All right. I have a motion from Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Carter. Council, any comments or discussion? Okay, if not, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Also, council, on the public notice and first reading is a letter of recommendation from the planning commission, public notice and ordinance to rezone 2.31 acres of land located at 1801 Knowles Road from the C4 zone, highway commercial district, to an R3 zone, high density residential district. Ricky Patterson, owner. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. The letter is dated December 13th, 2023, to mayor and city council members regarding a rezone of 2.31 plus or minus acres located at 1801 Knowles Road, Ricky Patterson, owner. The planning commission of the city of Phenix City met on Tuesday, December the 12th, 2023, to consider the request of Ricky Patterson, owner, for 2.31 plus or minus acres located at 1801 Knowles Road, to be rezoned from a C4 zone, highway commercial district, to an R3 zone, high density residential district. It is the recommendation of the planning commission that this request for rezone be denied by the city council. Sincerely, Billy Sims, chairman, Eliza Phillips, secretary. The public notice and ordinance reads as follows. Notice is hereby given that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, in response to a request made by the Planning Commission of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, will, will meet on the sixth day of February, 2024, at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the City Council Chambers Public Safety Building at 1111 Broad Street, Phoenix City, Alabama, to consider the following amendment to the zoning ordinance of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama.
All right, get your breath. I don't think you like me, we're not going through puberty, I don't think. Best day of our life, we didn't realize it.
An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Section 1, that the zoning ordinance of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, adopted on the 17th day of September 2002, be amended so that the following tract of land be located in an R3 zone, high-density residential district, instead of a C4 zone, highway commercial district. Property is 2.31 plus or minus acres, located at 1801 Knowles Road, Ricky Patterson, owner. The legal description follows. All ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict are herewith repealed by this ordinance. At said meeting, all persons desiring to be heard concerning the rezoning of the above described property may appear before the council at aforementioned time and place to be heard.
Okay, thank you, take your little brain.
Yes,
Some
sir.
more water. It happens, I can tell you.
Passed, approved, and adopted the 19th day of December 2020.
All right. Okay. Okay, council. We've all heard the first reading, the public notice, as well as the ordinance from my clerk. I'd like to ask this council for a motion to accept the letter, approve public notice, and to place ordinance on first reading. May I have a motion?
Motion to accept letter, approve, notice, and place on first reading.
We have a motion from Councilman Gordon, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Bailey. Comments or discussion? All right, you okay, Ms. Lee?
I'm feeling better.
I know. It happens. We have the motion in the second at this time, council, and I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, good job. It happens. At this time, I'd like to call on our attorney, Mr. Jimmy Grant.
Good
Morning.
morning, Mayor and Council.
Good morning.
We've got two claims on the agenda today. First claim filed by Ferris Riley and Pitt LLP on behalf of Sean Hayden, which we discussed yesterday. This is a ridiculous claim. All of the stuff that they allege in the body of the claim about injuries and permanent damage and all that, you look at the photographs and you can tell that, you know, it wasn't a devastating accident, and they're asking for $1 million. And my recommendation is to deny that claim.
Okay. Council, we've heard the recommendation from our attorney. I would ask this council if we can have a motion for the approval of his recommendation.
Motion to accept.
All right, motion from Councilwoman Carter, and that's a second, Councilman Day? Yes. Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day? Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And then the next claim is a claim filed by, a subrogation claim filed by Alpha Insurance on behalf of Ms. Ruth Cordy. This is kind of unique. Ms. Corbett had filed a claim originally with us. You got a copy of it. And for some reason, they also filed a claim with the insurance company. The insurance company is paid to fix our house. And looking at the paperwork on page 5, if y'all want to get to that, they're asking us to pay, $10,812.20, but down below that, it shows they paid $9,812.20 for, the work to be done. Now, I'm just assuming this, okay? They're trying to collect her $1,000 deductible, but we don't have any documentation to that. I would like to, deny the claim and then let me negotiate without, and, you know, I don't want us to pay them $10,000 and they not reimburse her $1,000 deductible, because that wouldn't be right. And, another thing is, the claim that, Ms. Corbett filed through her son that had the 3 estimates, we need to deny that claim because that claim's been satisfied by the insurance company, okay? And, you can either deny Alpha's claim because they didn't submit, 3 estimates with their, claim, or just leave it pending and let me discuss that with them. But I'm more concerned about, whether Ms. Corbett had to pay $1,000 deductible. And it doesn't indicate in here, but you can assume from, this paperwork that show that, where H&H Construction, was paid $9,812.20, and they're asking us for $8,812.20, which is $1,000 less. But I just wanna make sure she gets credit for that. So my recommendation is to, deny the claim, let me, Mr. Gamble work with Alpha Insurance, and then, you know, whatever, if they can't get us, the, 3 estimates, or if they refuse to, then we'll just deal with that then. But as far as this claim is concerned, it's been paid, and Ms. Corbett's house has been fixed. And now the only thing is whether they charged her $1,000, and whether they're gonna refund that.
Okay, so your recommendation is to deny?
Deny it, and then give us the authority to negotiate with, Alpha on what we pay them.
Okay. Council, we've all heard our attorney, so I would ask for a motion, per his request to deny, but also that he and Chairman Gamble will get with the insurance company to negotiate the difference.
Yeah, we need to vote on the first claim
Yeah.
that,
Do them separately.
Ms. Corbett's son filed, because it was never put on an agenda, was it?
Well,
Oh,
he never turned everything back in,
Right.
he still has everything, so it
Okay.
wasn't on the agenda.
So we're in good.
But it's out there, and we just need to deny that, because the insurance company is paid for that claim.
Yeah. Per, also to approve giving you all the authority
Yeah.
to talk with the insurance company. Okay. So council, we've all heard the recommendation. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve recommendation.
All right, motion from Councilman Gordon, may I have a second? Second, Councilman Day. Okay, you lead.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mr.
Mr.
Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Okay. Council, thank you all so very much. It's amazing how much, and how fast time passes, and we know what time of year this is. We're just so thankful to have this opportunity, and thank you for the past department for such a wonderful traffic, because it was spot on. We have a lot to be thankful for and to be grateful for. So with that, council, is there anything anyone would like to add or take away? before I, first city manager.
No, go ahead. Let you go first.
I'll just say, you know, what a beautiful day. And, today wraps up our, last meeting, council meeting of the year. And what a year it has been. I'm truly grateful for, each citizen that, is residing in our city. It really makes it worthwhile doing what we're doing. If I could sing, I wish you a Merry Christmas, I would, but I can't sing. But truly, it is the season. Jesus is the reason for this season. And so I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a blessed and safe New Year. Once again, it has been a privilege to serve in this community, to serve in this capacity. And so I just want to thank every citizen for allowing me to do just that. Today, Walk of Champions. I just want to say congratulations once again to Central High student athletes, female and the male team, football team. They get an outstanding job, and we are just so happy for them. And so I plan to be a part of that, and you know, giving back and letting our children know how proud we are. So congratulations, Central High School, for an outstanding season. To the leadership of that organization, we say thank you for doing what you do. And mayor and council, city manager, city staff, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have done an outstanding job this year. We love you, I'll say, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, Mayor.
I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But I don't know why we have to wait for this time of year to start appreciating each other. We should do it every day of the year. We should appreciate each other. We should appreciate, as Grant said, the day that we're given every morning that we wake up and open our eyes. It's a blessing. It's a gift. Our whole life in front of us is a gift. Our families are gifts. Everything comes from God. Everything is here for a reason. We often want to question it. We often want to wonder why. We're not supposed to understand it. We're just supposed to trust, believe, and have faith that it's all for a better purpose and a better reason. We're also fixing to start saying goodbye to someone that's very important to all of us on the other end of this desk up here. And that's Miss Melanie. She's retired. Has a celebration tomorrow at 2 o'clock, dial out. She's been here a long time. She's been faithful. She has no idea how much she has helped me. Because I am the least learned, the least experienced person up here at this table. But I have learned a lot. I've gained a lot of knowledge. I've learned to trust other people myself. When I came into this, I did not always trust everybody for who they were, or what they could offer me, or how they could help me. But I have learned that. And I'm glad that that was taught to me in a way that I could understand and accept it. But we're very blessed to live in the most wonderful country in the world. The freest country in the world, where we have a right to disagree, we have a right to agree, but yet there's always somebody standing up for us somewhere to take our back, to help us out, and not to leave us standing there by ourselves. I appreciate everything that all the city people do, all the employees, the department heads, and I most definitely love our country, love our state, love our city. And I wish everybody could eventually one day come to that conclusion that they should love it too. We have too much disagreements in this world, and too much animosity in this world, and too much, I guess, jealousy would be the right word to say. Everybody thinks they're entitled to something else because somebody else has it. Look, some of these people work hard for what they got. Some of these people is given to them. Some people inherit it. But for whatever reason you got it, it's yours. Somebody else don't deserve it just because it's yours. Get out and earn it, work for it, and I promise you it'll pay off. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to echo, the sentiments of Councilmember Carter and Bailey. They did a great job explaining, how we all feel up here, I think, and, Ms. Melly, we're gonna miss you. We do thank you for everything that you've done for us. We don't necessarily wanna move forward without you, but I guess we have to. But, you know, we're happy for you in your retirement and looking forward to celebrating with you with that. Pastor Parker said something in his prayer. I coach upper basketball, some kids that are 9 and 10 years old, and we always do devotionals with them, and Pastor Parker prayed about knowledge and wisdom today. And knowledge and wisdom are the two things that we've talked to our kids about. And I thought it was interesting for me to tie that in with what we tell our kids. And I started thinking about it, and one thing that I want to say is I'm thankful for a city manager and city department heads that gather knowledge and have the wisdom from God to do the right thing. Because there's so many times it could be a lot easier to not do the right thing. And we've seen that recently where there's been some tough decisions that have had to be made. And we always don't look like the good guy when we make those decisions, but as long as we ultimately know that we're using the wisdom God gives us to do the right thing, then we can hang our hat on that. And, you know, and I'm thankful for the prayer, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to think about, you know, the knowledge and the wisdom and seeing it every day used by our city manager and our city department heads. And I'm just thankful to be a part of that, and I thank you guys for what you do, even though I know it's a thankless job for the most part. But we do appreciate you, and I just wanted to mention that. And for everyone, just have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Mr. Day? You studied long, you said it wrong.
Well, I ain't gonna say anything, but, I concur with everything that was said, Mayor, the rest of it, we've done it here. I listened to what, each councilman has stated, and I concur with those, statements they made. But I'd just like to personally thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity to serve these many years on the council. And I also thank the District 3 for, I have faith in me to serve. I know sometimes it gets tough, like, and I also want to thank, Mr. Hunter and his staff and all the department head. And let me go back to Miss Melody. Now, Miss Melody, I know she's gonna be missed, and she's gonna miss me calling in so many times, working with her. But, she's a nice lady, had a nice attitude, and everybody in that office, you know, I can say this, I'm the only counselor that calls so many times, working with them. But they helped me out a lot. And I want y'all to know that y'all helped me out a lot. And, back to Mr. Hunt, as I was looking at some of these, resolutions and what have you, and go back to the decision that we make, he has stuff to back it up, go and check out, look at that, I told him that a while back, and make our job much easier within the law, of course, and, he did a good job putting that together. Now, I'd like to say to Central, football team as well as the girl team as well as, Glenwood, I think they did something, didn't they?
Yeah, they made it to the.
Okay, all those folks in our region, in our city, and my hat's off to them. And I'd like to say to all the citizens here in Phenix City, and everybody, and even the department head family, Merry Christmas to all of y'all. And y'all have a safe Christmas. And don't drink too much orange juice when you drink that orange juice. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Mr. Hunt?
Thank you, Mayor. I guess we don't have to start saying Phoenix City is a city of champions.
Yes.
Throughout.
Yes.
I'd like to thank everybody. I spent 30 minutes before walking here with Shannon Gamble, and when that Spark started speaking, I thought he had been in the back room with us, same conversation about appreciation. What are we talking about? And we were talking about things I was thinking about last night, and then he told me about some things he was thinking about, you know, the appreciation of life and what we do have. You know, a lot of people complain about things, but it's very fortunate when you watch the news and you see the things, the wars is going on throughout the country and around. I mean, within our country, we have disagreements, but we're still in a great place to live. We live in a great place.
Amen.
I mean, it is, sometimes, you know, I know people may look, because I work in a controversial position, you know, they may look and say, well, you think you got it made, and arrogant, and all kinds of things. I can tell you the word for it. It's appreciation. It's the knowledge and the thankfulness for God to put me amongst people to be able to live the way we live and have fun. And saying that, I'm thinking about, I've been here so long to where I've seen Melanie work throughout her whole entire career. And both of us, when we first got to know each other, both of us working 2 jobs. We was in retail, and she was JCPenney, and I was at Kmart, and we worked for the city. And she was trained by one of the best that ever worked here, Miss Jan Thomas. And so you gotta be thankful for that. To watch a person work their whole career, you know. And I was down here laughing when she was reading the last ordinance. I said, well, we got everything out of it. We took a voice. on the last thing, she was reading, you know, yeah. So we spent a tremendous amount of time with this glorious life that God has given us together, and understanding. And I don't think I can't remember a crossword ever in our careers. And the thing I always could depend on and felt good about is certain people in this life that you know that won't rest if they think something's gonna go wrong with you. And she's one of those people that always knew that had my entire back, you know, no matter. So it's been a great relationship, went from professional to a personal situation, watching the whole family grow up, you know. So I'm very appreciative of everything, knowing the job that she's gonna be on top of things, you know. She can rest if she thinks something T is not crossed or that I is not dotted, you know. I mean, it's just, people will never know because the world's changed so much. So the appreciation for a person that you know work like that and that you can depend on. You know, you can't help but feel certain things within your body, within your mind as to where, and I know we got well-trained people now. She's trained her office staff, she's trained them real well. But it's another phase of life that we're moving into, you know, and a lot of people change, affect people in different ways, you know. You're getting used to that. And to be honest with you, at one time, a lot of things changed because I thought we'd be going out the door together. So I can say is, you know, we had some things changed for us. We had made a pact with that, you know. So it's kind of, you know, we sat down and we talked about it and changed. And both of us love Phenix City, and we love all the people. We've worked with thousands of people over those years. I mean, a lot of people. We've seen a lot of people come and go. We've seen a lot of families raised. We've seen people. We've seen the tragedy. We've seen all of it. I guess I'm kind of going through a divorce, a work divorce. You know what I mean? Kind of, but it's been a joy working with you. I want to say, and I know I talked a long time, I appreciate everything. It's the last meeting of the year. I appreciate everything that the council has done for us, and especially understanding us. And I say, like, we have been through some tough decision making with people and trying to do the right thing, and it's a lot of things. I don't know, a lot of times y'all say things that today has been a tremendous amount of things said that has made me feel tremendously good. You know, it really have. You know, a lot of things have just been point on. You know, I think, Ms. Bailey, sometimes I think you just need to go to preaching because the things that I'm knowing, that I can feel what you're talking about. You know, trust in people and everything. I can feel it deep down because when you work this position, you work this job, you see people elected in and out. There's a lot of things that come in with councils where people won't believe in you. You can't be doing this way, you can't be doing it that way. And it's been a challenge and it's been a privilege to make sure that this team of people, that professionals that's doing their job, that they can convince councils that they can be trusted to do the right thing. That means a lot. That means a lot to me. That's one of the biggest compliments. It's up there. It's up there with, one time the fire chief had told me, and I think she was mad at me. She said, some of these people that treat you wrong and talk about you and call your names and say stuff, and you treat them as good as you treat me. I said, no. I said, never let it get in your way of profession. You can come to my house, you can have anything I have. They won't be able to do that. But when it comes to doing this job, you have to treat everybody the same. I don't care if the worst enemy is just by the guidelines, policies, rules, and regulations, you apply that and treat them that way. But when it comes to the personal relationships of people that we establish here, you know, they would do anything for you and you would do anything for them. Because they wouldn't ask you to do anything that's wrong. You know, and a lot of people, you know, in confessing their beliefs, we in a world with a lot of different beliefs. I have mine and other people have theirs. And I thank God for giving me the voice to express myself and to say the kind things that need to be said about people. Now I want to address something, one last thing there. One last thing, because I worry about my departments. We see a lot of crime going on, and it's an impact, something that's happened this past week with a bad act, criminal act that went on with the young man. I want people out there to understand that our police department solve crimes. They react real fast and they have done a great job. But that's an after the fact thing. Okay, what damaged our department, I mean, it hurt some people's feelings, and I feel sorry for them. And one of those people said in economic development, Sean Culligan also. And I want to make sure this community knows this. That young man was in a prevention pilot class with people that was baptized with Sean Culligan, with our police officers and everything else to prevent what happened in his life. So we have programs that's trying to help young people before they get to that type of situation. And I seen some of them, and it looked like they was broken this week because what occurred. But they did, I can tell y'all, you all did everything that y'all could to make sure something didn't happen like that. And I'm proud of this department, and I'm proud of the work that you all have done to try to make sure, because they deal with a lot of kids trying to help kids, trying to make sure they don't go the wrong way. But sometimes you have to still have faith and save the ones that you can, because you did everything that you could there. And I'm telling you, you look at the faces the other day, even when they were seeing things, it was just shocking that one had gotten into that type of situation. But I applaud the work that you all are doing, and don't let nothing get in your way to continue. And for the family of the young man whose life was taken, you know. I just couldn't imagine.
It's tough.
That's all I have to say.
Mayor, I'd just like to reiterate something, you know. I look at the number of years that I served on the council. One thing this council and what we have done in every meeting, we have prayed. We have prayed. I don't care where you go and what you do, you lift up the name of Jesus, he will see you through. There's nothing too hard for him to help. There's nothing too hard for any person to help. They got Jesus in their heart and love. Understand? I can say one thing about this council, we work together, we talk about different things, but these are pleasant, pleasing folks that I work with. I can say things to Mr. Hunter all the time. I say, you know what? I say, your department working together, and they work real good together. And they respect you as the city manager. I said, all that coming together make our job much easier, and y'all make us look good. I say that all the time. Y'all make us look good. Make our decision very simple sometimes. But as long as we do the right thing, we put God first in everything we do, I can assure you we will come out victorious. I can assure you that. And that's what I believe. I'm going to some person, but I believe praying and trusting God will change things, will change our lives. I really believe that. And I'm honored to work with these folks here that I can trust and I can feel comfort around. Because God is good. Thank you.
Thank you all, and I know I'm not gonna be long, but I do want to say this, and it was a great segue from what Mr. Hammer said. One of the most powerful things that we can do when it's done sincerely is to say thank you and build trust. And going on what Councilman Gordon said, and said, wisdom and understanding, is powerful. And this council always have led that way. But I do want to say what Mr. Bailey said. You trust, you gotta have trust. And I always say this, and you know, when you get in this gig, everybody's telling you because they don't like this person, they never tell you they don't like a person, but they tell you this person does this person ain't no good. And I always say this, if you can't trust the persons to do their job, get rid of that person, get someone who you can trust, and get out of their way. It's just that simple. And so I want to commend Councilman Bailey for speaking up and having the boldness, which is what every leader should have. Boldness and being fearless and having courage. That goes along with wisdom and understanding. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to have the wisdom and the understanding. If you're not going to be bold, and if you're not going to have courage. So I thank you for stating that. But again, what I want is our city and our community. We're coming together tonight because of the championships through sports. Now, I am a Pollyanna, utopia person. I do believe that we can come together for that. We can come together for anything. So I want to say this time of year, let's not forget it, but let's try to do it throughout 2024 if we're here, to be a lifter and not a leaner and to show more love. Merry Christmas to everyone, to Melanie. You know I say you're a traitor, but we still love you. And I say this, and Mr. Hunter said, she's not going to allow you to do anything that's not within the guidelines and the policies, which is courage, which is boldness. Because she will put, now, Pastor Parker, don't hold this against her, but she will put up that Baptist finger. But we appreciate you, and I appreciate you for keeping me accountable. And I always tell her and the rest of the ladies when I'm getting out of line and I'm hitting the B key, they need to let me know that I need to hit the A key. And I tell them to pull me by the ear and slap me on the hands because I need that accountability, and council, we need this accountability. So I really appreciate all the department head, and let me tell you something. I love you all, I love the city, and I'm having so much fun because I love people. And I appreciate this council for stepping up, for doing what's right when we need to, because it's not an easy gig. You know, everybody's not going to like what you do, but the thing that is common, we've been consistent. And we've done what's right. So with that, before I close, I will ask Mrs. Lee, is there anything you want to say?
I do want to say, I thank y'all for giving me the opportunity that you did to do the job that I've done. Mr. Hunter, I appreciate his confidence in me and working with me and allowing me to work with his department heads the way that he has. It's really made my job easier. He has a wonderful staff. The city clerk's office is wonderful. The ladies that are there are top notch. And y'all are left in good hands. But I do thank each one of you. I will miss everyone. It is a bittersweet thing for me, but it is time for me to go on. It's time for me to move on to my blessings, and I don't want to stand in the way of somebody else's.
Ma'am.
But thank y'all so much for your confidence in me, and I've enjoyed working with each and every one of you. Y'all have Phenix City at your heart, and it shows in every decision that y'all make. Thank you.
Transparency.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Listen, we can all disagree and get mad at each other, but if and when tomorrow comes, that's behind us, but we gotta continue to show support and love. And this community is really a good community. The city has really prospered and grown because of this leadership, because we're doing it the right way. And Pastor Parker, just keep praying and let all the other ministers and you all continue to lift us up in prayer in the city and pray for this community. That's Warren. And let all the others know, and we're gonna continue to do those things that we're supposed to do, because one day, the ultimate answer is gonna have to be answered. The ultimate question is gonna have to be answered. What have we done for others? So with that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and spend time with your family, and enjoy yourself, and let's be safe and kept. And we certainly thank God for this city.
Absolutely.
We certainly thank Him, and this is divine order by God, that we're all the leaders of this city. It's divinely ordered, so we don't take it lightly. Thank you all, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's continue to live and not lean. Thank you all so much, and we do stand adjourned.